Hey.
All right, what's going on, people out there in the world? This your boy Hood. I'm hollering at y'all from the channel right here, Hoodfilms. You know where we get it in at. I hope y'all having a dope ass day. Everything good on my end too, man. You basically got me cutting up the covers for some of the products I sell to the tourists. You can see on the channel one of the videos of me actually selling. Just a time in my life where I gotta train one of my sons to actually do it too, because selling on the streets is actually something that's been in my family since I was a little kid. There's a place in Chicago called Jewtown, and well, when I was growing up, and this place where you bought everything, like you can buy everything from Jewtown. So when we was kids, we rarely even went to a mall or nothing like that. Like the malls. My father would take us over there to Jewtown to buy clothes, everything you needed. So obviously today, Jewtown is no longer in America, or no longer there. They have the University of Chicago brought it, and so it's not like that no more in that area. It's actually, if you go over there, it's like a Subway. It's like all the bougie stores over there now. But the university bought that community up. But that's where we went growing up, and in that area, my grandfather used to sell on the streets, and so he sold like bracelets, hats, anything. And the story that my father told me is that he met my father and taught my father. My father's about 19. Ultimately meeting my mother when he went to the house, and they started dating, and the rest is history. So my father was selling on the streets when I met him. When I met him when I was born. And so, all the way up till I was a teenager or something like that. Then he said that Mayor Harold Washington at that time in the 80s became the first black mayor of Chicago, and he started giving out or telling people to apply to become civil service workers like police, firemen, post office workers, different things of that nature. And my father applied to be a bus driver, a police officer, and a fireman, which he ultimately got 2 or 3 of the jobs. He became a fireman and a bus driver. Ultimately, he stuck with being a fireman, and he retired as a firefighter. So, but that's what he did before he started working with America and working as a civil service person. He was selling on the streets, and so he taught me and my brothers how to sell on the streets. We was kids, and we wanted to play video games and stuff. At that time, video games cost 25 cents. You had to have it. And so we would go up there and hustle. We would take incense, hats, anything that my father sold, we would have it. He would take us in the front room of our house, and he would package up all the products, teach us how to package everything up, similar to how I'm doing it right now, getting your stuff prepared. Then he'd grab it, put it in his bag, and hit the streets. And so as I got older and started going through issues with finding money, finding jobs, they shut down the crack era, because that was a little way to make money when you was young. But they shut that down. And so I'm saying, in the meantime, being that you're going to go get locked up for crazy numbers, they started doing all these rules. So that's when I was young, though. I was 20, 22, 23. It's like, damn, I ain't trying to go sit up in a Bing like that, because you can see your homies getting hit like that, because they got to make it in the streets just like you. So it's like letting you see, like, damn, they will lock your ass down and earth your ass if you ain't getting your money right. So, and I'm cutting all this stuff up, y'all. You see, this is almost like a labor of love to me. I know I can get the machines to do it a lot easier, but sometimes I just sit here while I blog or watch videos or something, and I talk, or even just podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Different podcasts that I be on. But anyway, that was how I got into this industry of selling, and it just became an easier way to make money without having to ask somebody. Because sometimes, that's what a job really is. You're really asking somebody to let you be around them and their company. That's how it ultimately looks. And you slide it inside the sleeve with the CD, and you got a product. That product is sold to tourists, the people that are not from Chicago, the people that came here to visit Chicago. And so that's where I found a niche, because my father and them, they were selling in Jewtown. My father sold on the buses and the trains and the streets everywhere. He would take us with him as kids. I remember when the Bears won the Super Bowl, we was down there that day selling. We couldn't even celebrate with the crowd. We was out in that motherfucker selling shit on the street. And it snowed that day. I never forgot. I probably told y'all this story before, but it's just how it was in my youth. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. My father sold on the street, so he looked at every opportunity as a time to sell. So, I mean, even coming to our high school, our grammar school rather, and selling, that's what he wanted to do. So he's what he did. My father would get a bunch of hats coming in, maybe rabbit hats or whatever, with the big furry hats in the wintertime. It'd get real cold in Chicago. And he'd have them around the house. He letting you see them like, oh, look at the hats, man. How you like these, man? I'm gonna try to sell these. I'm gonna push these out here now. My father would come and tell you about that. I'm putting them in the sleeves now. It's the music, and I got a new song that's just out right now too. It's my new song. It's called Do Anything for a Big Bank Account. I just uploaded it. That was my first freestyle ever. So I mean, definitely support me on iTunes and iCloud. I'm gonna try to put iTunes and what's the other thing? All of Spotify, all of the social network platforms. I'm trying to kick off my music career, go a little harder than just this first album right here, which is like a jazz and hip hop fusion. You know, I want to do more hip hop rap because that was the thing that I was into growing up, but it was harder to make music back then because, you know, I didn't know. You had to know somebody with a studio, and I really didn't. And the people who I did know wasn't trying to fuck with me and hand me the music after I made it, so you'll make songs and you just couldn't get your hands on a copy of it. It's like, damn, the fuck is wrong with these niggas? They come ask me, Hood, do a video, man, film me like this. And then you be trying to get the negotiation so you can make a song, and then they be on bullshit after all. And then you pull back your sources, and then they pull back their sources, and it just happened like that more times than I wanted it to. So I even came up with a documentary series and shit. And rest in peace to my homie Snoop Dogg, because he just passed on. And he was the one was very influential in getting that Stay Till Late documentary created, and Raping the Streets movie, which he wrote, which I gotta actually take some snippets from him in the movie and put it up on the internet. Matter of fact, I just remembered that. I gotta do that. So actually, I gotta stop bagging these up as you see my words for them. But yeah, that's what it was like in my 20s. So, but it's dope too because you get to be independent, and you get, you know, this is how you make your money. I mean, you know, this is how it is in America. When a black person make a product, he has to sell it to white people to get it to the masses. That's how it goes. So if you're doing what I'm doing, there's a lot of people that look at you like you're unsuccessful because you haven't made a deal with Caucasians. But in the history of America, the deal that Caucasians give you is also a deal that is detrimental to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't financially get the money. You get 20% and they get 80%, or even worse. You know what I'm saying? So most people don't care because they say, hey, I'm living in poverty, I'm broke, I don't give a fuck what I gotta do. I'm about to hurry up and just make this deal and get this money. And that's fine, that's their business. I'm still sacking fast, y'all. That's what I do. I take it, slap the CD in the paper, pop it into the tape, and boom. And this project is a compilation of a bunch of artists that I connected with, using my video talents to connect with them. And we got the music album done. It was rough though. It's a part of a documentary series that I created. So, and I don't even need that many of them today technically, because I actually got to go help my mom. You know, Monday. And most times I got to help my mom out. I try to go more days than that, but during the week it started. This just the weather-wise. Right now it get real popping on the tourism side because it's like really hot. Oh, and this is road to Lollapalooza because we got a couple of days before Lala kick off. So I'm practicing my sales pitch because there's gonna be a lot of people out there at that time, and that's that's this weekend coming up. And one of my young kids, he actually going. He got a ticket so he can go himself. So yeah, but that's how I got into the sale thing, through my father and through my mother's father. My father he saw my grandfather selling all the time out there. They lived close by Jewtown. And by seeing my grandfather, that made him talk to him and get cool with him, which ultimately he had met my mother, because he said he saw my mother from high school already, but he didn't kind of know her that well. But they got together and blah, blah, blah. So I started learning how to sell, and the rest is history, man. So, you know, it's been a great blessing to learn. Yeah, so I want y'all to like and subscribe. And definitely support us over here at the Hoodfilms channel. We got new stuff coming for y'all. like we always do. You know how I rock it out, baby. So I'll holler at y'all in a minute.
Hey.